Our purpose at Norfolk Public Schools is to create a world-class education system for our students. We are proud to have the engagement of businesses, community groups, and volunteers like you, helping our students take pride in their learning. So before I begin giving you tips on how to read to children, first let me say thank you for being a part of our purpose. Sharing a story with a child can be more effective and interesting when the reader follows a few basic steps. Keep in mind that children listen at a higher level than they can read. First, show the cover of the book. Then read the title, the author, and illustrator of the book. Continue with the picture walk by introducing the characters and the setting for the book.
Good morning, boys and girls. I have a wonderful story to share with you today. The title of the story is The Great Fuzz Frenzy. And we are so excited because this book has two authors today. The authors are Janet Stephens and Susan Stephens Cramell. The book is illustrated by Janet Stephens. Now, let's take a look at the pictures and see if we can determine what characters are going to be in our story today. Surprise, there's a character right on our front cover. Do you see a character there? Very good. You can't see his eyes, but we know that it is it's a dog because we see his snout. So one of the animals today is going to be a dog. Let's see if we can find other characters in this book. And while you're looking for characters, see if you can determine the setting. Where is the story going to take place? I must flip my book now that you might see. Do you see other characters in this book? Very close. They look like a little mouse, but guess what? These are called prairie dogs. Prairie dogs live in a very special place. Can you tell us where the prairie dogs are? That's right, they look as though they're under the ground. So prairie dogs live under the ground. And yes, we do see our dog. We're going to determine today a little bit find out more about our prairie dogs and to see if our dog helps our prairie dogs.
Remember to engage the students by asking them background questions such as, have you ever seen a wiggly pump? Or do you know someone who lives on a farm? Then set a purpose for listening. For example, you could say, this book will teach us something about nautical things like ships, oceans, or aquatic animals. You also need to elaborate on the text. Repeat words, phrases, or other elements to help children follow the book.
Have you ever seen a prairie dog? Did you know that prairie dogs are at our zoo? Well, let's see. Think about our setting. This story is taking place underground. Do you know of any other animals that are underground? Great! Ants. Just like ants, prairie dogs live underground. Now, let's see what the prairie dogs are thinking about and what's causing such a frenzy. Slowly they crept out, inch by inch, day by day. What is it? A thing? A good thing or a bad thing? A round thing? A strange thing? A scary thing? What should we do? Don't touch it. Shh. Is it alive? Stand back, boomed a voice. You act like groundhogs, afraid of your own shadow. Oh It's Big Bark. Big Mouth is more like it. He's the meanest dog around. I thought he left town. Well, I'm back, grounded Big Bark. So out of my way. Let me have a look.
While reading, try to initiate an exchange about the book. Here are some examples to spark the conversation. Isn't this book interesting? What choice do you think the girl should make? Is there anything funny in this picture? You should also rephrase the text when students seem confused or they don't respond. When Timmy went up the stairs, they creaked. Do you know what creaky is? Do you know that that's a noise? When Timmy went up the stairs, they made a scary noise. Ask the children to make predictions about the story you're reading. This is very important. You could ask, what do you think will happen next? How will the boy act towards his friends later? This is another example that can stimulate a lot of discussion.
Boys and girls, isn't this an interesting book? Let's continue reading and to find out what's happening in the book now. But before anyone could move, little Peep Squeak raced past. Big Bark reached out and poked the big round thing. No! The crowd yelled. It's Fuzzy, said Pip. Oh! The crowd gasped. A tiny piece of fuzz was caught in Pip's claw. She looked at it, turned it, sniffed it, then she put it on her head. Look at me. Oh, the crowd sighed. Quit hamming it up, you half-pint hamster, snarled Big Bark. I'm in charge. Why do you think Big Bark said that he was in charge? Let's see. What do you think Big Bark is going to do now?
It probably goes without saying that you will have fun while you read to the children. So read with fun in your voice. Be expressive. Use your hands, props, facial expressions, and connect with the students. Make your voice match the book. Sound scary or silly. Read with a big or tiny voice. Changing your voice for different characters makes the experience more fun.
The prairie dogs pulled it, puffed it, stretched it, and fluffed it, tagged it, twirled it, spiked it, swirled it. They fuzzed their ears, their heads, and their noses. They fuzzed their feet, their tails, their toeses. Big Bark was beside himself. Listen to me, you ridiculous rodents. Stop this fuzzy foolishness. But those prairie dogs just wouldn't listen. They were busy being hot dogs and silly dogs, corny dogs and frilly dogs, top dogs, funny dogs, super dogs, and bunny dogs.
By volunteering, you are joining a wonderful program. But it's not because we give away books. This project was developed to create a bond between our community and our children. Reading activities and sharing the joys of choosing what books we value are all designed to send this message to our youth. We want you to be successful, and we are helping you get there. So thank you for joining us, and have fun reading for life.